Breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
That breaking news, officers hurt in a crash. Multiple agencies responded after two Wendell police officers were taken to the hospital this morning. This was right around 12:30. We'll tell you what we know from officials.
And SpaceX rocket explosion. A Starship flight test goes sideways in Texas overnight. What we know about this blast.
And two things. Obviously, the heat continues and really builds for the weekend. Today is a WRAL weather alert day. I'm going to walk you through our potential for strong storms.
Honoring Juneteenth, events are taking place across the Triangle today to commemorate the end of slavery in the United States. We'll show you how one in Raleigh is remembering black Civil War soldiers. Take you out there for a live report here coming up in just a few minutes. We're glad you're with us here. Thanks for making us part of your routine. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Renee Chu. We have a beautiful sunrise to start off our Thursday morning. And it's dry right now, but we are watching the setup of the storm system that's going to bring us severe weather later on today. Elizabeth Gardner is tracking what's happening to the west of us, and that they're already seeing a lot of rain and severe weather.
Yeah, a lot of severe storms across parts of the Midwest in the last 24 hours because of this front. Right now, we have some ongoing severe thunderstorm warnings around Memphis. This will travel eastward. We're going to have a band of thunderstorms kind of ahead of that front that pops up. We may start to see some of those as early as 5 or 6 o'clock during the evening commute. And then after that, some storms continue into the evening hours. So it is a WRAL weather alert day between 5 and 11. It's going to be our best timeline for storms. Damaging wind would be the biggest threat. Some hail and definitely some rain that could cause some flooding are all possibilities later on today. Beautiful sunshine. Oh, as a matter of fact, look at that. The sun just popped up over the horizon there in downtown Raleigh. Looking beautiful, feeling okay out there. As long as our temperatures are in the 70s, our dew points are in the 60s, it feels okay. There's a little bit of a breeze that is out there for us this morning as well. But this afternoon, of course, it's going to feel like 102 to 103. And if you're headed to Juneteenth celebrations, notice even at lunchtime, it's going to feel like right around 99. Actual high 95, which if we hit that will be the hottest day so far this year. So we're going to talk more about how much rain we could see in the timeline, but also intense heat for us next week. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, at 6:01, really a rather quiet start to your morning commute if you're getting ready to head out the door. We're seeing nothing but green showing up on our live traffic map this morning. The sensor's not picking up any delays. There's a little situation going on in northern Durham County near the Granville County line and I-85 south, but traffic is moving through, and I think that's construction related that hasn't been cleared yet. This is one of our major routes, I-40 and Wade Avenue, traffic flowing nicely in all directions. You're getting ready to head out the door. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
We're following this breaking news. In the overnight hours, several law enforcement agents were on the scene this morning after two Wendell police officers were injured in a crash. It happened on Wendell Falls Parkway near Jake May Drive. Right around 12:30 this morning, WRL Breaking News Tracker was on that scene as well. Ali Kadlubar is at the Wendell Police Department right now after speaking with officials over the last several hours. Ali still looking for that driver this morning.
Yes, that's what a state trooper on the scene told us around 2 this morning. One of the drivers involved in this multi-vehicle crash, including this Wendell police unit right here. You can see just behind these gates right here, the tires are flat and that front bumper is hanging off. Now take a look at this video from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker. You can see that rear back bumper hanging off and the rear just completely destroyed. And a Wendell officer on the scene told us that the two officers in the vehicle are okay. On our way to the crash, we did see two cars on two tow trucks with major damage. We also saw a person in the back of a Nightdale police car. So we've been sorting through police radio traffic all morning, and we actually heard police searching for another person on a street near the intersection where this crash all happened.
Well, we received a call advising that there were some people that ran near the address of 857 Parktown Drive.
Yeah, a lot going on. And when we were there, police were still sorting out all of the details, trying to figure out what happened, what caused this crash, as well as a possible police search. So we're working to find out those details as well as the identity of the officers involved. Reporting in Wendell, Ali Kadlubar, WRAL News.
The Fayetteville Police Department arrested one of its own. Officer Jacob Jones faces 6 sexual battery charges. He's accused of committing the crimes while on duty. The arrest was announced by the interim police chief last night at a news conference. According to the arrest warrant, Officer Jones responded to a call at a business on June 10th, where police say he touched an employee inappropriately several times while reviewing camera footage. Interim Chief Todd Joyce says nobody is above the law.
The badge we wear is a symbol of public trust, and we will not tolerate any employee who violates that trust.
Jones was served a consideration for dismissal from his job at the department.
Today's Juneteenth, the federal holiday commemorating the end of slavery in the United States. People across the Triangle will gather to honor this important anniversary. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from Raleigh National Cemetery. Kelsey, a ceremony this morning will honor black soldiers who fought in the Civil War.
Yes, Jeff, the Raleigh National Cemetery will be the backdrop for a special Juneteenth tribute. Several black soldiers who fought for their freedom in the Civil War have been laid to rest here, and this morning the community is honoring them. The U.S. colored troops were a regiment of mostly black soldiers who fought for the Union during the Civil War. More than 200,000 men are listed as a part of the regiment at the National Archives. Their role was critical in the Union winning the Civil War, leading to the end of slavery. Selena WRAL works to maintain the grounds of the Raleigh National Cemetery. She says the U.S. colored troops are often a forgotten part of history.
I think the history needs to be preserved for the young people. The young people don't know today about a lot of this history, especially the things that we're celebrating for Juneteenth.
There are Juneteenth celebrations happening across the Triangle today. You're looking at video from some of last year's celebrations. For a full list of the events that are happening today, head to WRAL.com. And a memorial tribute to honor those brave men from the U.S. colored troops will be happening here at the Raleigh National Cemetery this morning at 9:30. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Breaking news. New video overnight shows the moment a SpaceX rocket exploded in Texas. This happened just before midnight our time. SpaceX says the rocket exploded while it was on a test stand. The company called it a major anomaly. No injuries were reported. The rocket was preparing for its 10th test flight. The cause of the explosion has yet to be determined.
This morning, a section of Interstate 40 right near the Tennessee-North Carolina border is closed because of flooding and a rock slide. This is video from the Tennessee side of things. It shows vehicles submerged there. Workers had to remove the center dividers to allow stuck vehicles to turn around. Officials say a lane is expected to reopen this afternoon.
A Sanford woman is worried that recent flooding may cause her home to collapse. This video was taken Monday outside Candace Waddell's home. It shows water rushing through the front yard. Waddell says repeated rainfall has started to wash away her foundation. She blames nearby drainage ditches that cannot handle large amounts of rain and are forcing water onto her property.
And as those holes fill up with water, it has nowhere to go. So instead of going down, it just rushes across the road into my yard.
A city spokesperson says they are aware of the damage and are working to lessen the impact.
New video overnight shows more Iranian strikes against Israel as the conflict between the two sides approaches 1 week now. Video from the ground in Jerusalem shows Iranian missiles flying overhead, and smoke could be seen rising from Tel Aviv as Iran launches its latest wave of attacks. The Israeli Defense Forces says it has activated sirens across the region. A hospital and residential buildings in Israel have also been hit in recent attacks. Iranian media has reported Israeli attacks against a nuclear facility. The conflict began last Friday after Israel launched a series of strikes against Iran that resulted in the death of several Iranian military officials. President Donald Trump is reportedly weighing a potential U.S. strike on Iran.
Hey, Jeff, I do want to show a little more of that aftermath video from a different perspective here as first responders in Israel near the Tel Aviv area are responding to the damage here. You can just see how much debris has been caused from this strike on this building. You were talking about the hospital before. Well, there's a leader in Israel that said that by striking that hospital, that crossed a, quote, red line. I want to show another video here because you'll see also the fact that the threat still sort of looms in some degree. This video, what you're seeing are people kind of still surveying the area. But if you look up slightly, there's that window that's gets up here, it starts to kind of crack a little bit, and then eventually it falls down below and kind of gets everyone's attention after it does that. This, of course, is just another example of the aftermath of the conflict between Israel and Iran. And as that conflict continues to escalate, we'll report it here on the WRAL Live Center.
Chris, thank you. Demonstrators are calling on Governor Josh Stein to veto a pair of bills that will create more cooperation between state agencies and federal immigration officials. Supporters of the bill are in favor of a tougher approach. Those in opposition say immigrants are being treated unfairly. More than 100 people were gathered at the governor's mansion to speak out against the bills. They also wrote letters that voiced their concerns. Republican House Speaker Destin Hall says these bills are necessary because he says some sheriffs are not cooperating with ICE. Protesters say the legislation is inhumane.
These bills affect real people, real immigrant communities. It also allows ICE to go to UNC school systems, and I go to Western Carolina University, and that's very scary because I'm legal, but it's scary to think that they could stop me and just ask about that, and who knows, maybe they'll take me.
Officials from the governor's office collected the letters people had written. The bills are headed to the governor's desk. It's not clear if he's decided on whether he will veto the bills.
We're at 10 after 6 right now on our Thursday. School funding impacts. Officials at UNC Chapel Hill share how cuts at the federal level are affecting people across our state.
And a Pacific storm strengthens. People in western Mexico are bracing for a hurricane as it strengthens off the coast. The potential impact people are preparing for.
And we're preparing for this cold front to bring us a chance of severe storms later on today. I'll show you what time the storms could start where you are coming up. 6:14. Look at this beautiful sunrise over Carr Lake. Hey, if you're going to be outside, now's the time to get out there. It feels okay out there right now. Actually, our temperatures are in the 70s and our dew point's actually in the upper 60s. So 74 Holly Springs, 78 Durham, 77 Fayetteville, Garner, and Rocky Mount, as well as Goldsboro. And I was out on the patio a day or two ago, and temperatures in the 70s with those upper 60s dew points. It's okay. Now, later on this afternoon, not so much. Okay, it's going to feel like triple digits, and by the time we get to lunchtime, feeling like 102 to 103 mid to late afternoon. And then after that, the thunderstorms begin as early as 5 o'clock in our western counties and then continuing to move across the area during the evening. It is a WRAL weather alert day because we do have that potential for some strong to severe thunderstorms later on today. Actual high temperatures will be in the mid 90s for this afternoon. And of course, that could be the hottest that we've seen so far this year. Ken?
All right, Elizabeth, at 6:15, we have a situation brewing right here on Davis Drive. This is at I-40 there in Durham. You can see this crash blocking the intersection, but traffic is actually getting through. We got the turn lane blocked if you're coming off of I-40 and you're going east or west on Davis Drive. I'll keep an eye on that and let you know how much this is going to affect your morning commute, particularly if you work in the RTP area. That's something that you'll definitely want to watch for, but traffic is getting through. Only that intersection is blocked. But as we widen out the view, all our major routes are delay-free at this hour.
As summer break begins, schools across our area are already looking ahead to next school year. One big focus will be smartphones. Several districts are making changes to their policies ahead of next school year. In Harnett County, students will need to put their phones in a locked pouch during the school day. In Johnston County, both students and teachers have to follow strict guidelines. They are primarily only allowed to use their phones for emergencies. Many Johnston County teachers want district leaders to revise the policy for staff.
UNC's lead research administrator is opening up about the impact of federal cuts on the university. University's Vice Chancellor of Research, Penny Gordon-Larson, told WRAL grants for 109 research projects have been terminated. Overall, UNC has received $126 million less in federal grants this fiscal year when compared to the same time last year. Gordon said these cutbacks could have a statewide economic impact.
So we are largely grant funded in terms of the research that we do, and our federal funding is really critical for us in terms of the mission to serve the state and the citizens of the world. And so it's a core resource for us to be able to do that.
Gordon-Larson also spoke candidly about the realities young researchers are facing in the current climate. To read more about her message to future scientists, Look for this story on WRAL.com under the Health tab.
Today, Senate lawmakers are expected to approve a bill that would give the state auditor more power to investigate people and businesses that receive public funds. State law already empowers the auditor to probe state and local government agencies to ensure taxpayer dollars are being properly spent. House Bill 549 would also exempt the auditor from a law requiring the governor's approval for hiring consultants. Some lawmakers on both sides criticized early versions of the bill. They say it could lead to abuses of power by people who work in the auditor's office.
The federal government will eliminate a special service for LGBTQ plus youth in the 988 Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Starting July 17th, the Lifeline will no longer offer a dedicated support line for LGBTQ plus people. The general 988 service will still be available for anyone experiencing a crisis. In the last 3 years, though, nearly 1.3 million calls or text messages were routed to the LGBTQ plus line.
New this morning, Hurricane Eric has been upgraded to an extremely dangerous Category 4 as it approaches Mexico's Pacific coast. The storm is expected to make landfall near Acapulco sometime this morning. People have boarded up windows ahead of the storm's arrival. The hurricane has been intensifying in power over the last 24 hours. Eric could be the most powerful early season hurricane to hit Mexico. Back here along our coast, 6:18 now, and look at that sun right now. Just so beautiful. Nice to have all this daylight as we approach the summer solstice, which is tomorrow, Elizabeth.
Yes, I love all the daylight we have this time of year. The flip side of that is, of course, the more sunshine we have during the day, the hotter it is. And woo, we're feeling that this week, and we're going to feel it next week, too. Here's a live look at North Hills this morning. Beautiful sunshine glow here on the buildings, and you can see clear skies up above. I'm tracking our next weather maker, which is going to bring this cold front through the area later on this evening. So today is a WRAL weather alert day. Wind damage, heavy rain, some hail, all possible with this storm system. Here's a look at future this morning, maybe a few patchy clouds. Right now we're really clear. Tracking our cold front. Actually, we'll have some thunderstorms coming across the mountains, and those move into our area and mostly fizzle out. And then around 7 or 8, we start to see a line of thunderstorms developing across our area. We do have a level 2 risk for severe storms. Again, our main threat is going to be wind damage, but some hail and definitely some heavy rain that could cause some minor flooding, all possible. Level 2 means that we'll see scattered storms that are mainly short-lived, not necessarily widespread. So it is a WRAL weather alert day. That timeline between 5 and 11 o'clock. Damaging wind, definitely the biggest threat, but again, possibly some flooding and maybe even some hail. Would you like to know if it's coming? If you're out and about, not close to your TV, download our WRAL weather app. You can set it for alerts for warnings. You can also set an alert to let you know when lightning is headed your way or rain headed your way. So it's a fantastic tool. All right, nothing that we can do about the fact that it's going to be really hot before those storms develop. It'll feel like 103 to 105 this afternoon. Now, we're going to lose a little bit of the humidity behind the front. So Friday will be probably the most comfortable day of the week, feeling like 93. That'll be our high temperature. But boy, we get into Sunday and Monday, and the heat really intensifies. We're looking at some extreme heat, possibly on Tuesday when we hit 100. We'll take a look at our heat risks for the beginning of the week coming up in just a little bit. But I mean, you know, I think 100 degrees says it all, doesn't it, Ken?
Yeah, people getting into the cars will be cranking the AC for sure.
Definitely.
Elizabeth, thanks. Hey, we got a situation brewing on Davis Drive here in Durham. This is near I-40. You can see the crash scene right there showing up in our live traffic sensor. But courtesy of our live traffic camera this morning, you're seeing exactly what's going on. It's actually happening there at Davis Drive at the intersection, but traffic is getting through. The turn lane, if you're coming off of I-40, is closed right now, but again, traffic is getting through just the intersection right there as they continue to investigate. If you are happening to navigating I-40 westbound, nothing but delay-free that we're looking at this morning, the southern loop of the Beltline, as well as you're coming in from Johnston County or Garner. You're getting ready to head into the car. Tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
Thanks, Ken. Power costs. State lawmakers are considering allowing Duke Energy to raise your electric bill. Why the move is being considered and what critics are saying about it.
And food fact versus fiction. Raw milk, seed oils, and nightside veggies. These foods are sparking up conversations, but are they health boosters or health risks? 5 on your side's Keely Arthur helps sort out the truth so you can shop smarter.
And ahead on today, NBC's Joe Fryer shares a behind-the-scenes look at the movie Jaws for the 50-year anniversary of its release.
Here's a look at the winning North Carolina Education Lottery numbers. We'll be talking what's trending next.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
A peek into the career of a legendary musician, and a friendly face is taking a prominent role in a small town.
Ken Smith here now with What's Trending on a Thursday, Ken.
Hi, Jeff and Renee. So we're getting a new look at the Bear star Jeremy Allen White in his upcoming Bruce Springsteen biopic. The film Deliver Me From Nowhere tells the story of a pivotal moment in the life of the boss. The movie hits theaters October 24th.
So, knocking it out of the park as Dylan, Timothy Chalamet, really did a great job of that. So I'm looking forward to this because it seems like Jeremy Allen White can pull it. Look at him, he's sweating.
Right? That's not Bruce.
He's
That's
contorting
Jeremy.
his face like he's constipated. I mean, that's how you pull it off, right? That's the Springsteen look right there.
Okay. That's the Springsteen vibe.
I love it. Okay. Hey, how about this? Man's best friend assuming a leadership position in one Vermont town. Tila was sworn in as the first ever dog mayor of Middlebury this week after being elected by town residents. The 4 candidates in the race helped raise money for residents who didn't have the financial resources to get their pets vaccinated, spay, or neuter.
Oh, sweet Tila. And she's not just a pretty pooch. She has important policies that she wants to put in place, including being spayed and neutered and being registered with the town. So, important priorities.
Day-to-day stuff.
Ken, thank you. Breaking news coming up at 6:30. 2 officers were sent to the hospital in Wendell around 12:30 this morning. What we know about the response to the crash and how the officers are doing.
Also honoring Juneteenth, we'll take a look at how people across our viewing area are commemorating the end of slavery in the United States.
And our next weather maker is this front bringing you severe storms right now to parts of Tennessee. I'll show you when those will arrive where we are.